Welcome back to Lost Legacies. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sam.
And I'm Dad.
That's right. That's
What?
right. Dad's back. And he came back just for our what's the word? It's our 2-year anniversary. Isn't there another word for anniversary? Like inaugural?
No, that's when you start.
Yeah.
Oh. It's our second inaugural. No, technically our third.
Ooh.
The 2-year anniversary, okay?
It's our sophomore year.
No, this is the end of the sophomore year.
Okay, it's graduation, sophomore graduation.
There we go.
There we go.
To be
Sophomore
young again.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, as you know, typical Ask Dad questions, we just all ask each other a bunch of random questions. I don't know. We didn't really have plans for the 2-year. What's the 2-year anniversary gift for marriage? I'm asking the two married guys.
Because we would know, right?
Yeah, we're supposed to know all of this stuff. I don't know. I think it's paper.
Paper.
I'm guessing. My 2-year wedding anniversary was a long time ago.
Mine was last year, and I don't remember.
Is there I wish there was a site that said.
I mean, there's you just type it in, and you can find a whole bunch of stuff.
I'm finding different answers. Okay, the year 1 is paper, according to this. Now there's your traditional theme and your modern theme. Year 2, the traditional gift is cotton. But the modern gift for year 2 is China.
China.
The whole country.
People still use China?
No, Matthew.
Here, take it. It's yours.
Oh my God.
I love you.
Oh, man.
I don't know anybody who personally uses, fine china.
Mm-hmm.
I can't afford that. Nobody can afford that.
We don't have any.
See, even Dad doesn't have any.
What? Okay, so what's the requirements for something to be China? Is it the way it's made?
Sure. I don't know.
I'm sure it is.
Wow.
No, the way it's fired, the
it's
pattern.
Yeah. So it's a certain. Yeah, it's like a certain style.
Yeah.
Super fragile and expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. This anniversary, we're teaching people stuff. I don't know if it's true or not, but that doesn't matter anymore. It's 2022.
There you go.
Okay, well, before we just start talking about random stuff like we usually do, we've been gone for a month, because we're between seasons of Lost right now.
Oh, yeah.
Sam, what have you been up to? Watching anything good lately?
Catching up with House of the Dragon and the Rings of Power. Those are really cool. Those are fun. 2 big, giant, big budget fantasy series. It's really cool that we have, they're kind of opposite ends of the spectrum, House of the Dragon, super I don't know, gritty, and Rings of Power is just very fantasy, high fantasy, fanciful, got dwarves, magical items, going around, the potential of war. It's all great. It's all good stuff.
Yeah. I'm not caught up yet, but so far so good.
Yeah. I like it. I'm enjoying it.
Dad, watch anything good lately?
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's it. Just
Now here's a question.
Yeah.
Is it because you haven't watched anything, or is it because you anything that you've watched in this month just not good? It's not up to your standards.
I I would love to say that's true, but no, I haven't seen anything.
Oh, dang it.
I know. Nope, I just haven't been, working on the house, stuff like that, working here from home for my job. That's it. The only thing that I see regularly is the national news,
Oh,
and that's
That-
definitely not good.
yeah.
It's a rerun every day. So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Nope, that's
Well,
about it.
I've kind of talked to both of y'all about this already, but I finally sat down and watched something. It's so hard to get me to sit down. I think I might have ADHD because like I'm even having trouble just watching like a normal TV show these days. I'm just like, I don't know. I got to be doing something. But Saturday night, I felt like watching a movie, and I asked Sam, "What should I watch?" And he told me RRR. So I'm like, all right, let's try it. Oh no. Sam specifically said, because it was already like midnight when I text you. Sam says, maybe you can watch like the first half of RRR. I was like, okay, cool, because it's a 3-hour movie.
Wow.
I watched the whole thing. I couldn't stop. Like,
Mhm.
I lie. I did stop at there's no intermission, but there is an intermission point.
Yeah.
I stopped in the middle, took a shower, came back, kept going. I was like, all right, let's finish this.
Mhm.
Oh, what's it called? Rise, Roar, Revolt. I love it.
No, now technically that's what it's called,
Yeah.
but its real name is RRR.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
And-
like it needed some,
Mhm.
some like tagline to go with it. They're like, well, it's if it's just RRR, we'll title it that, quote unquote,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and like the meaning behind it is because the two main actors, they're both like superstars. If you don't know what we're talking about, listeners, it's from it's in India. I don't know where specifically, but
It-
it's not a Bollywood film.
It's
I think-
it's from a specific film industry called Tollywood.
Yeah.
There's two different Tollywoods though.
Mhm.
And both of these actors are like sensations. They're a phenomenon
Yeah.
in that country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they came together. They did this film about these two historical figures, these two revolutionaries who are larger than life, who never met at any point in their lives.
Nope.
And the filmmakers are like, but what if they did? It is amazing.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, I think it's like their first names or their last names both have the R initial, and so does the director, I want to say.
Yeah.
So in production, they were just calling it RRR, and they ended up sticking with it because the director said if you put words in the title, it's not going to sell overseas. So they just kept the initials. And then
Mhm.
they ended up throwing on the Rise, Roar, Revolt as a little tagline just to help it sell. And it's working because this movie's like blowing up globally. And they're saying like this is like the biggest blockbuster like India's had. And I'm like, wow,
Yep.
man, it's crazy. Now I will say Bollywood films are made in Hindi. Tollywood isn't. I forget what the language is, but on Netflix it has a Hindi dub, just so
Mhm.
everyone knows. But double check your settings when you watch it, because I was 45 minutes into this movie and like I was kind of understanding some things. I'm like, what is this? What dub is this? And I check and it's Portuguese. I was like, oh. So I had to go change it to Hindi, and I'm like, I guess there's some crossover between Portuguese and Spanish because there were a couple like phrases and terms I was like, oh, interesting.
Oh yeah.
I kind of got it.
Well, be careful with that. You don't want to start a war between the Spanish and the Portuguese.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, very
But
true.
there is
Okay.
crossover between the language because there are specific lines. I'm like, I thought they were speaking Spanish. That's why I had to go double check, and it turns out it was Portuguese.
Wow.
I was like, wow. I was, oh, cool. Here I'm thinking like, oh, Goma is a word in Hindi as well. So I'm glad I checked. Because also, if you do it in Hindi, they also have, because there's a lot of characters who speak English, so those lines are dubbed in English. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Mhm.
But this movie has everything: explosions, fire, animal, water. Just it's crazy. It's a musical as well. It's just it's such a beautiful film, but it is just so pure, essential testosterone blockbuster. Like, Dad, we got to watch it.
Sounds like I got to make popcorn.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Make
it's
a
gonna
lot
be
of
fun.
it. Make a
And
lot of it. 3
the last-
hours worth of popcorn.
I know. The last thing I'll say is it rounds out my favorite perfect movie trilogy, which is the cop who has to chase the baddie, and he unknowingly becomes best friends, nay, becomes bros with the baddie.
Oh,
And he has
no.
to choose between the law or his new family.
Uh-huh.
It started in Point Break.
Oh,
It
shit.
escalated in the
gosh.
Fast and the Furious.
Oh no.
And
No.
it's
No.
culminated in RRR.
Ugh.
It is brilliant. Now, of course, the story, it's different. They're all different in their own ways.
Uh-huh.
Oh man. Oh man. I loved it. I'm like, to me, this is the perfect, if I were to remake Point Break, this would be it. Because it's 3 hours and they focus on the characters and the guys, like you feel that friendship,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, Sam, how do you explain it? Just because like we're used to Hollywood movies,
Mm-hmm.
so watching foreign films, like all these different countries, all these different film studios, they have their own unique style, and
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know. So sometimes there are things in this movie that felt really cheesy, but it works because that's their style of storytelling.
Mm-hmm. It's this thing of like, I think we as Americans and American cinema, we have a tendency to want to be subtle. Nobody wants to just come out and like say, I'm the hero of the story, and this is how I'm gonna save the world or anything like that.
Yeah.
That tends to not go over well, when you're just like, when you're kind of like soapboxing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Whereas this movie, and it feels like the way that it's made, it wears its emotions on its sleeves. Like it is telling you like these two guys are the heroes, and
Mhm.
here's why they're heroes. The villains, cartoonishly evil,
Mhm.
but it works.
Yeah.
The villain of the movie is the British Empire, and so the British aristocracy in the movie, we would see it as like comical villains, because of the things
Mhm.
they're doing, but that it's somewhat true depictions of what the British were like in
Yeah.
in India. And so when you have your main hero, one of your main heroes debut putting like mud across his body, slashing himself, and then running into the jungle so that he can take down a tiger,
Mhm.
that this guy's the hero.
Slight spoilers, guys, but yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's not even the half of it. That's not even. Look, here's a slight spoiler. The title card for the movie doesn't pop up until 45 minutes into the movie.
That's very true.
And
I love it.
And it's one of the best title intros of all time.
Yeah.
They take 45 minutes to set up these two protagonists.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's like when you have a story like this, when you have heroes like this, you just just sell it as big. Make it big. Make it
Yeah.
big cinema. That's kind of what this feels like. And
Definitely from what we've talked about and what I've heard, like this is like Avengers level cinema for it, like in India,
yeah,
especially because it's these two stars and it's about these two real men, and then they're like, we're just gonna crank it up to 11 and eat some popcorn.
Yeah.
So, I recommend everyone checking it out. It's amazing. I'm gonna rewatch it this Saturday with Dad.
I'll make popcorn.
Yeah, brace yourself, Dad.
I don't know. Can my old ticker take it?
Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry.
Oh,
It's the whole shebang of emotions.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. But okay, we do want Dad to pitch into this episode. So, do any of y'all have questions? Random questions?
Ooh. Random questions.
Random.
I've been talking to you guys about this for weeks. Okay, I'm going to ask a question.
Go right ahead.
And I have a bunch, so I'm just going to, let's see, 14.
You have them numbered?
Nope,
I think this is from the last time.
Oh.
We don't want to talk about that. Oh, here's a random question. If you buy a pin that writes underwater, will it write other words too?
That's not a question.
This episode's off to a great start.
Wow.
Oh, wow. You're not really known for your dad jokes, but that was awesome.
That was great. The delivery too. Wow.
Oh,
5 stars.
What was the other joke, Dad, that we were talking that I showed you about? Okay. Listen to this one, Sam.
Okay.
My wife asked if I'd seen the dog bowl. I said I didn't know he could. The internet. Easy access to dad jokes. One of the silver linings of our society.
Oh man.
Thank God for the internet.
I didn't know he could.
I just picture Snoopy in my head. Okay, here's a question.
Okay.
Random question. What is something you know is bad for you, but you can't break free of it?
No.
I think I know mine, and I think I know Dad's.
Okay. What's mine?
Fried chicken.
Oh. Yes.
We don't eat it every day, but we do eat it too much. But God, it's so good.
It is. Yeah, it's pretty good.
There's a slight caveat to that, though.
Uh-huh.
Cookies and cream ice cream.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so not that I would ever have that for dessert with fried chicken.
Ooh.
Huh.
Only because I don't want to explode.
Now, you can't. All you have to do is wait 30 minutes till after you eat, and then you can eat your ice cream. Otherwise, you'll drown.
In my own pleasure of food, yes.
Okay, Sam. So we got fried chicken, cookies and cream ice cream. What do you got?
Oh man. That's that's a good one. Pizza. I love pizza way too much. And there's, almost any given day, I'll be like, yeah, I could go for pizza. I could have had pizza for 2 days in a row, and I'll be like, yeah, I think pizza. Let's do that again.
I mean, I usually do because I have leftovers.
Yeah.
Speaking of pizza, I was watching an interview with Tom Hardy, and he was talking about Bane, and audience, if you remember, he plays Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. And he said that one, everyone is always surprised when they meet him. They're like, "Oh, we always thought you were bigger." He's like, "Nah, man." But also, he was saying like, if you look closely, he's like, "I'm not." He's like, I'm overweight in that movie." He's like,
Mhm.
I gained 30 pounds, but I'm really overweight. He's like, all he really did was eat pizza. He said it was very bad for his heart, but that's all he did was eat pizza every day. And I'm like, that's interesting because if you look at Bane, like he's a beefy dude, but at least Bane in that movie, he's not very muscular. Like he has good, like some definition in his arms, but yeah,
Mhm.
it's like, it's a good point.
So what you're so what I'm taking away from this is that if I eat enough pizza, I could look like Bane.
Yeah. If you eat enough pizza, you could look like Tom Hardy too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Well,
Dang,
speaking. Oh, what was it?
I had a question, and
Okay.
now I just forgot.
Oh, see,
No!
that's why between Ask Dad episodes, I'm constantly writing them down in my notes folder. So, because otherwise I won't remember it.
What was that? We're in audio format, Matthew.
You see, I forgot we were on audio format. That was me tapping my head like it's in there like a steel trap.
Well, so's my
sees
question.
this.
Oh, that's true.
So's my question. It's in a steel trap, and I can't get it out.
You lost the key.
Golly.
Aw.
Okay, well, on the topic of food, actually, I have a lot of food questions. That's weird. It's probably because I come up with these while I'm on my lunch break. All right. An epic feast is held in your honor. What's on the table? Fried chicken, cookies and cream ice cream, and pizza. and everyone gets a side of gummies. Ooh, Jolly
Gummies?
Rancher gummies. Jolly Rancher gummies.
Okay.
Oh, and some real nice big chocolate chip cookies.
Mm.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Although I know I've been telling Sam about this for months and he hasn't experienced it yet, but they have nerd gummies. And what it is, it's like a gummy, right? It's just a little gummy ball, but it's coated with nerds candy. So they're crunchy. It is so good, especially if you chill it for a little bit, you just put it in the fridge, you just bite so you get the crunch and you get the gummy center. You got to remind me, Sam, next time I'm at the store, I'm going to get you some of these.
Please do.
Nerd gummies for the nerd gummies.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I got a question for y'all.
Okay.
What literary classic would you like to see adapted with the Muppets?
Okay, we've talked about this a lot, like in our own personal lives with other people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Someone at some point mentioned the Odyssey, and like I love that idea.
I think that works.
I could see that.
Would Kermit be Odysseus?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Just to get back to Miss Piggy and whatever is it his son or his nephew? Who's the little guy?
Oh, yeah. Nephew. Robin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to get back to Miss Piggy and his nephew. Wow. Yeah. What about you?
I don't know. That's a good one.
Okay. Well, Dad thinks about it. Because mine was always the Odyssey or Pride and Prejudice. I think that would be really fun.
That would be really fun.
I think that would be really fun. But since as of recording this, it's October, we're gonna try and do maybe something a little slightly spookier. And I'm throwing my ring in for the Muppets, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I would see that. I would pay money for that.
Look, it's solid. You get Kermit as Jonathan Harker, you get Miss Piggy as Mina, and then you get Keanu Reeves as Dracula.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Instant $1 billion.
I like it. I like that a lot.
Mostly from me going to watch it 1 billion times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, that was good. That kind of opens up my mind a little bit. Opens the steel trap.
Mm-hmm.
What about redoing John Wayne's The Alamo
With the Muppets?
Muppets?
With the Muppets?
But we know what happens to them in the end.
Who plays Travis?
Is this gonna be
Who
like
Bluey?
alternate? Like the Muppets actually win the battle?
Well, no.
So they all die?
Oh no! That's the story of the
Is
Alamo.
Mickey is Kermit gonna blow himself up? Killing the Mexican army?
Why not?
Okay. To your credit, Dad, I'll pay to go see it. I don't know if I want to, but I will go see it.
Oh, I am absolutely paying to go watch this. Wow.
Kermit plays Crockett.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Scooter can be Travis. Scooter, why not?
He's the man with the van. Okay.
That's right. Let's see. And Bowie.
I mean, it's got to be either Gonzo or Fozzie.
That's got to be Fozzie. It's got to be Fozzie.
On his deathbed, as the Mexican soldiers storm in, and he has his giant knife.
Giant knife, and he says his last words are "waka waka."
Waka waka. Ugh. So Gonzo can play.
Gonzo's Juan Diego, so that he can.
Yeah, he's
make
the
it out
one
of
guy
there.
who survives.
Yeah,
There you go.
him and Camilla can make it out of there. Okay. And then Miss Piggy can come in at the end and see all the carnage.
Well, she's the one who's there.
She's Susanna Dickinson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow.
Now the tough one's going to be who's going to play Santa Ana.
I know. It's probably going to be like one of they have like the villain Muppets. It's always like the same group. Probably going to be that. Or what's actually more likely is like he'll be like the one human cast in this movie.
There you go.
Outside, yeah.
Which I was curious, Sam, because I wanted to ask you in Pride and Prejudice. I feel like Lizzie should be the human and everyone else should be Muppets.
Yeah.
So who would play Mr. Darcy? Sam the Eagle?
Oh no. You know what? I feel like Sam the Eagle should be Mr. Collins.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Instead of making Mr. Collins this like aloof sort of, meek man, you just make him the very stoic, brash, but very just honorable Sam the Eagle. But he's American, so they're like, oh, okay. I guess.
Wow.
See, but yes, I think who should be Mr. Darcy? Okay, one, I feel like we have to keep in the tradition of the Muppet Christmas Carol. So Gonzo is going to be our narrator.
Interesting.
Which is going to be interesting because a lot of it is from Lizzie's perspective. So yeah, we'll figure that out. It's fine. I think. Oh man. Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure, make a suggestion, Bob.
I'm just gonna say Floyd. The guitar player.
The guitar player is Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy. He's cool.
Lizzie. How does he talk? He's like,
I know, he's kind of a stoner dude.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's find a Mr. Darcy quote.
Zoot skipped the groove again.
There you go. There you
Wow.
Mr. Darcy quotes. Let's see. Oh God, it's in cursive.
That's the new spy language now.
This is the
cursive
internet.
writing.
Why would you do memes in cursive?
The triumph of the American public education system.
That's right.
Mhm. Never mind. I'm not going to try and read this.
Or I was gonna say I was leaning this way. Why don't we just make it Ralph the dog?
Hey, now
I
Ralph is a man about town.
I
That's
love
true.
Ralph. I
You know?
love Ralph. I've always thought he should have bigger roles in these movies. Let's make Ralph the dog, Mr. Darcy.
Okay.
Now, if I remember correctly, they've kind of retired him, right? Because like for Jim Henson, is that what the thing was?
He
I be-
was the voice.
Yeah, I believe like they wanted a character to kind of retire when he passed, but they knew they had to like keep Kermit around and stuff. So like Ralph, he keeps showing up, but it's very rare and like he only has a few lines, and I think that's why.
Yeah.
That's why I love in the
Oh.
Muppets where they get the band back together. He's like, "Hey, you didn't tell my backstory," and they just go and he's like on the porch, right?
Uh-huh.
He's like, "Hey, Ralph, we're putting together a band. I'm in," and that was it. He's like, "All right, let's do it." Interesting, man. Pride and Prejudice as Muppets. God, I love it.
I think it'd be great. Yeah.
I think so too. All right, so here's a little fantasy question for you guys. Is magic earthbound? Now I'm saying earth loosely, because there's Middle Earth and there's Narnia and all this other stuff. Is magic like bound to that planet? If not, what does magic look like across the cosmos?
Wow. Never thought of it. Sorry, man. Sorry. You're talking to someone who watched Neil Armstrong actually land on someplace other than this world.
Mm-hmm.
Magic belongs here because people are here.
That's a very interesting point.
That's a very
That's a very good point.
okay.
Magic is ours, ding dang it.
Huh.
Okay.
Wow, I hadn't thought of it like that.
So little E.T. can have his little powers and stuff,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but that's not magic.
Huh.
Okay.
It is interesting because this has been brought up forever in literature forever, but the fact or the idea of just seeing something you don't understand, you perceive it as magic, when in reality it's just like a super higher form of science. It totally makes sense, you just don't understand it yet. So you could go that route where I can get that. Yeah, sure, ET does know magic, but to him it's just science. So you could go that route. But the idea of like, no, magic being it's a human thing or earth thing, so that's where it comes from. That's fascinating.
I do like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, thoughts?
Until Dad blew my mind with that.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say something similar. Like I think magic is earthbound. It is bound to some physical plane,
Yeah.
And I think there's like different ways to wield it and do all of that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there is moon magic. There could be moon magic. Yeah,
Because
magic.
so Dad, there's not going to go into it because I'll get upset. There's a new D&D book and setting called Spelljammer, which is essentially D&D in space. And it's not science fiction though. It's fantasy. It's just fantasy in space. Some can argue like the Jedi. You know, if it weren't for the Jedi and the Force, Star Wars would be pretty sci-fi. But the Jedi and the Force really brings this element of fantasy to that story.
Mm-hmm.
The issue though with Spelljammer is that it's everything works almost exactly the same. So if you learn magic on planet Bob and you fly across the universe, it's going to work exactly the same on planet Joseph, you know? And that's where me and Sam, like, we're not happy about that. It's like, don't you think if there's different races, well, like you said, if magic is human based, well, what if the Zorgonlians on planet Joseph have their own form of magic? It's going to work different. It's going to look different. You know, what does that look like? That's what I want to know. That's what I want. You know, you could have some super advanced race who have figured out their magic, who have cracked it, and it's more like a science to them. That's what I want to see.
So the hat I'm wearing right now is kind of spinning around here, but I like what you said about it has to work different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So looking in my toolbox as I do, I would have to agree with you. Everything else, how do I say this? Everything works differently on another planet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So why would magic stay the same? If nothing else stays the same, why would magic? That doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to expect it to work differently.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's just me looking at it from very limited readings of magic and spells and all this kind of stuff. It has to work different.
Yeah. Wizards of the Coast should hire you, Dan.
I I'm available for Zoom meetings at any time.
I'll let them know.
There you go. For a fee, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about moon magic for free.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no. Okay. I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I finally remembered what it was. What sport would you really wish you could play like on a regular basis? And what sport would you never, ever want to play?
Oh, okay. For me, I would say, I think the sport I wish I could play regularly, baseball.
Interesting.
Yeah.
America's sport. Yeah.
America's sport.
Pastime.
Yeah, America's pastime.
Yeah.
I really liked being in t-ball and baseball, but I just felt like I was never good at it, even though, did all the practice and, and all that. But yeah, there's just something about, being out there in the grass, and you got the glove, and, you're doing the drills, and who's on first, that whole thing. I love it. I do. I really love baseball. I don't think I love watching it as much as playing it though.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
But I do remember having a lot of fun playing baseball. And the sport I will would never touch and will never touch again is golf.
Really?
Golf. 100%. I don't believe in golf courses. I think they're a waste of public funds, and they're a waste of funds and public land in general, and they should be given over so that we can make way for public parks or for housing. That's my spiel.
Okay.
Take that as you will. City government, talk to me. All right.
Wow. Okay, didn't see that one.
The sport I absolutely would love to play is golf. No, 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 no. The sport I do not want to play at all is any kind of race, any kind of track and field. Sorry, Dad. I knew you were a track guy, but track and field, I'm like, nah, it's not my thing. Swimming, like water, no. Mm-mm. Yeah, I want something like give me something to beat, and that's not like someone's time. I mean, like I want to beat someone, you know, like
Like boxing?
boxing or football. You know, I just feel like I need something to do. Like if I'm in a race, it all comes down to me and like my body physically and I guess mentally too. But like I want some kind of strategy, you know? You're very although there is strategy in the way you train and the way you run and the way you have to regulate your breathing. Same thing goes with swimming. It just comes down to like who has the better run, you know? And I'm like, who's the better athlete? Who has the better race? You know, it's like, I want no, no, I want to figure out how to beat you. You know, I want to outsmart you somehow. There's strategy. There's more strategy. Of course, I don't want any Michael Phelps to come like shoot me or anything. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know the sport too well. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I want something I could more strategize with a sport like that. Football, baseball, basketball, all that stuff. You have strategies that you can do to beat the enemy, to beat the other guy. Race, it's just gonna. I feel like it just comes down to who's the better athlete. And I'm like, oh, that's a lot of pressure. You know, I'd rather be like, sure, you're the better athlete, but I'm smarter or I think faster. You know,
Wow.
it's like that's kind of that to me. That's my thing. I want to be able to outsmart someone.
Mm-hmm.
The sport I absolutely would love to play more is tennis. I love tennis and I miss tennis.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to do solos though. Cause like through school and stuff, like I was always in the duos on the team and I'm like, it's good, but in my experience, in my limited experience of tennis, I was always held back by my partner. So like, and it sucks because like I knew what I could do, you know, and like I was never really given the chance to shine on the team as a solo, and it's because like you could only have like I think two solos, two guys and two girls on the team in high school or whenever that was, middle school, whatever. Like at the time, so I'm like, I wasn't as good as those guys. So I was stuck in the duo. So, and like, we were always losing and I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like that's one of those boxes that like, I wish I could actually say I had another chance at just to see if I was good. Like baseball, I had a good shot, you know, what was that? Middle school and high school. And I'm like, okay, I know my limitations when it comes to baseball. Tennis, I feel like I never reached those limitations. You know, I was always kind of held back.
Wow.
So, which you know, sucks because like, I don't know. It's like I was on a team with like Serena Williams. It's like, well, sorry, Matt, but she got the job. I'm like, yeah, no crap. You know what I mean? It's just like I just wanted a shot, man.
I will say I love how you said that you don't want to do any sort of like race or sport where it's basically down to who's the better athlete, and then immediately go, but I wish it was tennis. But I wish I could play tennis, but only solos because then you could see if you are the better athlete.
Well, but tennis is there's definitely the strategy in it, you know, especially solos because your guy doesn't have anyone backing him up. you know?
Yeah.
So how hard are you going to hit that ball? Where are you going to aim that ball? You know? How do you bring the guy to the other side so he can't reach the ball on your next? It's almost like chess. Like you have to be planning your serve, or not your serve, but you got to be planning your hits like 3 moves before. Because if you just hit that ball, he's going to hit it right back. So you have to figure out how to get him in the right part of the court so he
Mhm.
can't hit your ball.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Strategy. Especially if you can bring him close to the net, because it's a lot easier to run close than it is to run back.
Dad, what about you?
Favorite sport, definitely running. I was a miler in high school and I loved it. I loved it. In fact, not as often, but I well into my 40s and 50s, I would dream that I was running. Oh
Oh.
man, oh it's awesome. And we used to run in high school the track. It was called a cinder track. It was that kind of reddish clay looking rock, and
Mhm.
it makes a specific sound when your shoes hit it. So when you got like 10, 12 guys all running around the track, it makes this kind of shushing sound, shh, 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 with every step. When I dream, I hear that sound, and
Mhm.
it is awesome. It is awesome. And my high school, Highlands High School, was way up on a hill. So early in the morning when we were running laps, we would have the fog, and we'd see the sun coming up, all this kind of cool stuff. And we're just running laps with that sound. Nobody's talking. You're just running, you know, training and all this. And it was awesome. I loved it. Loved it. The sport I would never even consider would have to be swimming.
Hmm.
Mm.
I'm I'm not coordinated enough.
Mhm.
Arms, legs, breathing, turning the head, all this kind of stuff. No,
Mhm.
there's just too much. Just put me on a track, point me in the direction I need to go, and just let go of the reins. That's that perfect.
So, like, were when you were there, when you were in the zone running, was it kind of like a meditative kind of sensation, or
Uh,
like?
it it definitely could be
Mhm.
like, so we would run 5 days a week, before school and after school, anywhere from 3 to 5 miles. You know, if you're a miler, you're really trying to maximize your training time, because you're trying to do speed. Because really, a mile in today's world is a sprint.
Mm.
Okay, okay, it's not a 50. It's in this. It's almost in the same category as a 100-yard dash. Okay, you're trying to go as fast as you can, full out for the entire length. So to do that, you will tend to do um, slightly longer distances, but at a faster pace. So we would do 3 to 5 miles, morning, afternoon, and then alternate the next day. For those, and they didn't really want us running in the neighborhoods, so they would put us on the track. So all you're doing is going around in a circle. So
Mhm.
from that point, it was very meditative. I mean, and you feel everything that your body's doing, and at a certain point, your body knows what to do. So now your brain is kind of free to just, you know, think about the math homework you didn't finish last night, and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
but just kind of just, and in some cases, just kind of zone out. You're not thinking. You're just allowing your body to do what what is natural and just run and just run. And so that really got me through high school, is those times when you just kind of zone out and just work, let your body tire itself out in those training sessions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Well, guys, it's been fun. Sam, do you got any last questions?
Ooh. Dad,
Yeah.
you're trapped on a deserted island.
Yeah.
Which son do you want to be with you more?
Oh, it's terrible. He's gonna say cinnamon.
My gosh. One, I would never pick between the two of you. Okay. It ain't gonna happen. Okay. It ain't gonna happen. So I'm not gonna. But if I'm going to strategize,
Ooh.
no, I'm not going to. No. If I'm stuck on a deserted island, either I'm by myself or both of you guys are there with me. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true. That checks out.
That's right.
Cool. Well, guys, we're back and it feels good. So thanks for coming back to the show. Everyone, thank you for joining us for these 2 years. And who knows? Maybe we'll even do another 2. We'll see. But as always, you can find us online on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at _Matt Jimenez and on Instagram at Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Real, that's REEL, Texas Weirdo.
And if you want to find Dad, just ask Matt or Sam. They know how to get hold of me.
Yeah, send some questions, and then we'll have stuff to ask Dad for the next time he comes around.
Mm-hmm. So, and Wizards of the Coast, we weren't joking. Dad will write for you, but not for free.
Yeah. Pay him in cold hard cash or fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the contract.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, everyone. Until next time, get lost.
Get lost.